Brutally Delicious Podcast.
Human meat beef carpaccio.
Hey guys, this is Brent from Hollow Lake. Doing a bit here for Brutally Delicious. We've been tasked with cooking with 5 specific ingredients: the chicken breast, bell peppers, coconut milk, and quinoa, and dark chocolate. So I decided to take kind of a Mexican route. The ingredients sort of called for that, and I'm going to do a mole chicken bowl. This is something I've been eating a lot lately. Our last tour, as we kind of get older, the need to eat better on the road is increasing, so we try to find places that have somewhat decent food for us, and the bowl kind of became a thing for me, at least, especially being a vegetarian myself. Today I'll be cooking chicken. I'll be doing some mushrooms for myself separately, but it became a thing that I could eat on the road, and it, fairly quick, easy, and yet decent eating. Chicken breasts, our first ingredient. We'll do a little sea salt on it as well. The adobo spice mix has like a little bit of salt in it already, but we're gonna want a little bit more on these big lobes here. Get those pretty well seasoned up, because this is all going in the sauce. It's like a one pot kind of situation where we're cooking the chicken, we're making everything in the same pot. Turn this up a little. First thing I'm going to do is roast some garlic, and we'll save the roasted garlic for the pepper salad later, but we'll take some avocado oil and throw it in here and roast up the garlic in it, and it'll scent the oil so it gets like a nice base for it, for what becomes the sauce. All right, our garlic is roasted with a nice brown color to it, and the smell is just right. So that oil is gonna be nice and infused with all that roasted garlic flavor. It'll be a good base for the chicken and the sauce. So we'll save this for later, because that's going to go in our pepper salad. So now that we got the roasted garlic oil, grab our chicken breasts that I've seasoned with the homemade adobo mix. And what we want to do is get like a really decent color sear on both sides. And even though we're gonna boil down that breast so that we can pull apart the meat, it'll just give it a nice kind of toasty flavor. You can also do them on the grill, get a little smoke on them. So the cook line on the chicken is about halfway. You can see it kind of get white about halfway up, so I'm going to give it a flip. The spices have kind of crusted on the outside, we're good. But I mean, it's basically frying in here in its own fat and that roasted garlic oil. So we're going to add some onion to this next. I'm just going to give it like a rough dice, because this is all going to get pureed in the end. So I got about 3/4 of an onion for 4 chicken breasts. Let those onions get incorporated and kind of turn translucent. Add a little more salt in. Next, we'll chop up a little bit of that roasted garlic. Again, just a rough chop. I'm going to start to add in some peppers and various other herbs and spices to kind of build the flavors. I've also got some dried chilies here. These are pasillos and guajillos. And I've been soaking them in water to kind of rehydrate them a little bit. And also the chili water is a really good element to add to the sauce. Add just a little bit of jalapeno in here. Those dry chilies are going to give it a little bit of spice too. We like it on the hotter side. Here's our bell pepper, second of the required ingredients going in. And I'm going to use this a second time on the dish as well. Next, I'm going to pop some whole cilantro in. A lot of people like to pick from the stems, and unless I'm using the leaves as like a garnish or something, I leave the stems, and the stems have great flavor and they break down really easy. Juice of lime. Add a little bit more of our adobo spice. Then I'm going to start adding some tomato product. First, a nice, juicy, in-season heirloom tomato. Again, all rough chop because we're going to blend it. A little cheat code, you can throw some hot sauce in. This is something that's already been, stewed to perfection. So the time that it would take to make those flavors on their own is eliminated by using a little bit of a already made product. Same with this guy, a little V8 juice for our tomato juice, but you can use canned tomato juice if you want. Just do a little bit of tomato paste. About a tablespoon worth. We'll let that marry, and then we'll pull our chicken for a minute and blend all the solids together, and then add it back to the chicken as a puree. And then once the chicken's cooked off, we'll finish the mole with the dark chocolate and kind of taste it up and see where we're at. And add a little chicken stock to our chicken liquid as well. Next, I'm gonna get the fire roasted pepper salad going. I've done a lot of these ahead of time because they take kind of a little bit and they make a little bit of a mess. So I wanted to just do one to show you though. So I'm gonna take this. Now I've done bell pepper, jalapeno, and some of the poblanos already, but I'm gonna use just the poblano. I have a nice gas range here thanks to our lead vocalist Scott Angelakis and his lovely wife Nadia letting us use their home today and their kitchen. But if you don't have gas, you can do this on your charbroil grill outside. This takes a few minutes. You want to kind of completely blacken it on all sides. You'll see the skin start to blister and then it'll turn black. You don't want to let it to get to the white variation though, because once the skin turns white, it kind of just disintegrates. But if you get it to black, you can pop it in a steam element and then just peel the skin right off, and it makes like some really nice roasted peppers, which I have. This is poblano, bell pepper, and jalapeno already mixed with a little bit of red onion that I did on my grill earlier. So while that pepper's working, we'll chop up some more of this roasted garlic, really fine. Almost like a paste. And then you're gonna add it into the pepper salad at the end. Little trick here too is if you add a little bit of your coarse salt into your garlic, it'll actually help it grind up really fine because of the friction. Plus you are seasoning it. Not a bad thing ever. Get some fine garlic there. Add that to our pepper salad.
It smells amazing.
It smells amazing, yeah.
So we got poblano, lime, a little of that adobo seasoning, coconut. It's okay. Definitely want a little more of that spice mix in there though. And you do get the coconut, just a little on the back end, but the lime and the sour cream are just the more prevalent flavors here. They're gonna kind of take over. A little more. Scotty, come try this real quick. What do you think?
It's awful. Fail. Horrible.
So meanwhile, let's get the beans going. And do a little bit of the avocado oil. Yes, I cook with a good amount of oil. I got 2 little pieces of this garlic left. I got half a lemon still. I'm gonna cut that into small dice. Okay. Little onions, little roasted garlic, we'll throw that in. We got a bunch of spicy elements already. You guys want more? You want some jalapeno in the beans, or
Oh yeah,
good to go?
more jalapeno.
Let's do it. But we'll dice up the jalapeno nice and fine. Coconut water and water mix. I used about 4 cups of water, and then it was roughly 3/4 of a cup of the coconut water. So I like to do a 1.5 to 1 ratio. A lot of people do 2 to 1. You can with the quinoa involved, because the quinoa is going to take a little bit longer to cook. But this is tricolor quinoa. I found that like the darker quinoa cooks slower than the lighter quinoa, so I'm going to put that in just ahead of the rice. Onions, garlic, jalapeno all cooking up. For the beans, I'm going to throw some adobo in there. Season at every stage. Meanwhile, this chicken's been cooking for almost an hour now, and everything's kind of coming together. It's looking pretty awesome. We're gonna have a good sauce. Poblano's been sitting steaming for about 10-15 minutes. See that skin's gonna come just right off now. The pros won't want you to do this, but I feel like it makes it a little easier to have a little bit of running water going. It's kind of a cheat, but it goes a little quicker and easier. And then all the skin, all the seeds, everything just pops right off. Okay, roasted poblano. I'm gonna chop this guy up. The salad is all strips for the peppers, and then I dice the onion a little bit. I'll throw some of that in the salad. Maybe I'll chop this up a little bit more. Then we'll go in the beans with the poblano too, get some of that roasted pepper flavor on the poblano and the beans as well. Alright, we're stirring. Onions, peppers, garlic, adobo seasoning, avocado oil, a little bit of roasted garlic, a little more adobo seasoning. We'll add our black beans. You can add some chicken stock to the black beans if you want to, or veggie stock. I'm just gonna add a little bit of water because I know I got all that flavor in there. Plus, I don't want to do chicken stock because I'd like to have some of the beans too. All right, blending our mole, or the start of it anyway, the chili portion of it, the chicken portion of it. So we've removed the breast from the liquid, and we're gonna throw all the liquid into the blender so it's nice and smooth. Good idea when you're blending hot liquid to pulse it. Little tip for this sauce too, if you find like it needs some sweetness, throw a little bit of pineapple juice in the mix. The quinoa is now up to a boil. I'm gonna add my rice in. That's about 2 cups of, I like jasmine rice. You can use basmati. They also have something called jasmati, which is the hybrid of the two. But I'm just a big jasmine rice fan. I love the texture. I think it cooks up really nice. It goes great with the quinoa, and you can use it for a variety of different cuisines. All right, we got a nice texture on our sauce. Pouring it over the chicken. I'm going to turn this down a little because it is bubbling. The sauce, she's looking pretty thick already. So what I'm going to do is add a little more chicken stock before I throw the chocolate in there. Scotty, taste this. Dark chocolate is the next essential ingredient I gotta add. So I've done the chicken breasts already, I've done the bell peppers already 2 times, and I've done the coconut 2 times, once with the cream, once with the milk. This is dark chocolate, not necessarily Mexican, but Mexican would obviously be appropriate. I got some 100% and I have some 70%. The higher the cocoa and the more kind of a bitter chocolate it is, the better it's going to be in the sauce, because it's not going to, you know, read like chocolate. It'll kind of read more like a spice. We'll just work that in. We'll turn it down a little bit, but this is looking good. Scotty, how was it?
Awful. I don't know why you keep trying.
Very helpful. Very helpful.
You should give up now.
Meanwhile, our black beans are perfect. And rice and quinoa are boiling. I have a cover on them. I'm just going to turn that down so that it continues to cook, but not too quickly. Rice and quinoa are working. Black beans are good to go. Chicken still has a little bit of cook time left in the mole. While we're doing that, I'm going to cut up some mushrooms for my dinner. Some oyster mushrooms, fresh from the farmer's market. And then I got some creminis here, also from the farmer's market, but you know, obviously a little more of a common mushroom. But I'm gonna kind of chunk them up to add a little bit of texture. Chop up a little bit of the stem too. It's all good. Quinoa and rice. See where chicken's at. Just gonna grab it with the tongue, see if it pulls apart. It's starting to. Yeah, it's getting there. You can pull it out and pull the chicken. It's a little easier that way, but I like doing it in the sauce just to keep it inside the flavor. skillet going for my mushrooms. Avocado oil again. Big proponent of the avocado oil as my neutral oil. It's either extra virgin or avocado for me. Chicken's just pulling apart now. That's about an hour and a half stewing in the liquid. The more you pull it apart, the more you get it incorporated with the sauce, the more delicious it's gonna be. So this is gonna get a crema. It's gonna get the pepper salad, all of which have a ton of lime juice involved. So I'm not gonna go too heavy on the acid. I think we're in a pretty good space. Scotty, you wanna come taste this mole for me though and see if we're good?
Honestly, you call yourself a chef, but I think you should quit. That's all. You got this. You're a better guitar player than you are a chef.
Right, mushrooms are just gonna get sauteed up, a little salt, and a good amount of that adobo spice, maybe some fresh cilantro in there too. We'll add that in towards the end. A lot of people say they don't like mushrooms. I think it's more just the fact that they've never had mushrooms cooked properly. You have to give mushrooms a good sear or they don't taste great, they don't have the right texture. You gotta sear them properly, so make sure you're cooking your mushrooms hard and long enough. And they'll actually talk to you. You can hear them kind of squealing a little bit. If they're squealing, you know you're cooking them right. Our mole is done. This chicken is looking great.
It's so good. It's just good. I can't even make fun of you anymore. I should still make fun of you, but I can't.
All right, quinoa and rice is perfect. I don't know if you guys want to get a shot of that, but it is looking great. So I'm going to turn the heat off on that. I'll throw a little cilantro in there. Chocolate and chilies is the heavy drums and heavy guitars of the culinary world. Cut from there.
What'd you say? What was it? The what is the cut and spice? What the
what?
The what and the spice or the what and the spice of the culinary word? What would you fucking say?
I said the chilies and the dark chocolate are the heavy guitars and heavy drums of the culinary world.
Ah, gotcha. Kick and snare. If I ask you, right? If I ask you what
You want to let Stuart know that dinner's ready? If he's still up there?
I'll text him right now. But if I ask you what was what was the kick? What's the kick and the snare? Yeah, what's the kick and the snare? Like if I ask you what the kick and the snare of the culinary world was, what's the kick and the snare? So
The salt
snare?
can be the kick. The snare would be like the pepper, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, mushrooms are good to go. Black beans are good to go. Rice is good to go. Chicken's good to go. We are plating next.
Oh shit! I should have hit record.
All right, we're ready. Beautiful. So building the bowl, we want to get our base first. Coconut quinoa and jasmine rice, black beans. Okay. Do a little bit of this chicken. pepper salad. Actually, let's throw on our crema first. We got coconut lime, poblano sour cream. Okay. Pepper salad. Boom. Some fresh cilantro on top. Let's get a good amount. A lime wedge. And there you go. Mole chicken bowl with quinoa and coconut rice, mixed pepper salad, roasted, and a little poblano lime coconut crema. Thanks, guys. We've been Hollow Leg, and we're gonna eat now. Cheers.